This course page could greatly benefit from a CSS style sheet external that defines the font size and style. Throughout this page, the text is pretty small, so it would need to be enlarged. In addition, it would be easier when applying headings. Other issues that keep arising are lists not in the appropriate style and images without alt tags or titles and empty href tags, href tags. In the head source code, you'll notice that it doesn't even have the HTML language here. It has a doc type. However, for the language, I would put in HTML lang equals en for English. I would remove most of the style as well, and pretty much changing it so that it's maybe a one line of code that prevents ads from popping up, because that's what this whole thing is about, and it's awfully long. It's too long. It takes up over almost 75% of the page. In addition, as you can see here, there's a JavaScript that really goes nowhere. It does nothing. So that I would definitely remove that one as well. On this section, we have the header bar is in green and red. These colors, there needs to be more contrast here, which would require either a darker background and lighter font color or vice versa. I would also make this an H1, use an H header 1 label for it. The introduction I would make into a subheading 2, and the picture would need to be, it needs the alt tag or title, but it also, I would provide the width or height attributes as well, because without these dimensions, the text might jump around as the image loads, which could cause problems for the reader. There is also, if you look here, it says a border equals 0. This attribute is now obsolete. I would remove it. And I would also replace in the email address, in the actual code, it does show a URL destination. I would change it to an email, a valid email address. On this section, I would turn this by the end of the lesson, subheading 2, because it's still part of the prior section. Now, the problem here is you've got all of these, you've got symbols rather than using ordered or unordered lists here. So I would definitely switch this over to probably an ordered list. Readings, activities, and assignments would go into a subheading 3. In this table, I believe, is a layout table. Therefore, in order for the assistive technology to be able to read it effectively and clearly, I would want to put 1 in to do, 2 activity. I want to number them from left to right, each cell. And this would, it would be in a logical reading order, and it would definitely come out okay with the assistive technology. Now, for this click here, this video, it's not really saying, it's not saying a whole lot. It's almost redundant. Click here and then blah. However, on this, it's not really shown as a link. There's a problem with the code itself. So I would change this code so that it would work. And I would also change the title of it and probably just put History of Domestication Video with a link to it. And under the do, I would definitely do Introduce Yourself and make that a link to that forum and to that actual discussion board. Now, in this section, we've got the discussion board, Introduce Yourself. This is a brand new section on the page, therefore this would be H1. And again, we've got these unordered, ordered lists. They're using symbols, so I definitely convert them over. On this part here, also, if we come up here, you'll notice that this is incorrect coding. It's got all the closed elements. However, up here, there's no open A element. Oh no, that's not true. I'm sorry. I got a little confused there. Okay, so anyway, that's fine. But as I see instructions below and then click here, I'm not sure what they're actually asking unless I go over here and look at the code for the link. And it does look like possibly that it's showing a help you know, it's tips. So I would definitely change, I would change this, see instructions below, and maybe put tips for discussion board basics, and making it a link and removing click here. And number 4, now here's where you've got the problem with the code, the open elements. So it's got a P style and then it's got a B, but on the close it shows A, B, and P. And this would definitely be a little bit off. So I would definitely put the A in front of the B right before the lecture, which would create it would definitely create a link. But because we don't want this as a link, I would definitely just turn it into I would make it into a heading. So we have a problem here, though. And the first thing I would want to do is check with the SME, because there's confusion information here. Is it lecture 2 or is it lecture 1? So that would be my first order of business, is to try to find out exactly what the SME wants me to do. The image, again, needs to be corrected with the alt tag and the dimensions. The watch video, I would want to change this text for watch video to maybe the history of domestication video, so that it's got more definition. I would remove the duration part of it. I'm not sure if that is really required, but I do know that it on videos are usually it does say how long it's going to be. So if we keep moving down here now, the same goes here. Quiz, lecture 1, history of domestication. So I would, of course, I'd put in the right information, but the other thing with this quiz is that I would probably go ahead and put in the directions and the information on the quiz, and then drop the actual link for the quiz below this information. And then I would probably just put quiz instead of this whole line. This part would be, I would definitely name this as the third section. I would want to make this add a sub heading. This would be, let's see, this would be the first heading 1, the quiz 2, subheading 2, and the blog would be subheading 3. I would remove the blog part because it's obvious that it doesn't, it's not going to take you anywhere. We don't want it to go anywhere. They've already got the directions here for their writing assignment. The other problem is here with the italicized words. These italicized words need to be going into in bold. I would definitely change it to bold because it makes it very difficult for people with dyslexia. On the last section, again with the headings. So I definitely would change this into a heading 1. And as far as this goes, the numbers, how I would correct this is either by using the HTML space code and just make sure that each one has the exact same number of spaces, or I might even consider using CSS to make it work better. So this course page would be better by redesign rather than attempting to correct all the issues. The current issues make it almost impossible for someone who needs accessibility technology to read the page. And I just want to say thank you. I've really enjoyed doing this activity, and I really appreciate you letting me do it. So I look forward to further communications with you. Thank you very much.